Hey guys, I want to tell you a little story. While I was in prison, I did all kinds of crazy shit when I was in prison, but they started a program about us training dogs. Two people would partner up, we get one dog, and we work with the dog and we train it for handicapped people and stuff like that. Veterans coming home or a little shell shock or whatever, the dog cheers them up and does things like that. So one night the dog would sleep in my cell, and the next night he would sleep in my partner's cell. So one day I was in Sandstone, Minnesota, and it was really, really fucking cold. It was like literally below zero out there. And I took Albert out. They shoveled the walk. The snow was 4 feet high on both sides. It was a little walkway, and they put down salt and everything like that. So I was able to walk the dog, and it was my turn to keep the dog in the cell. And when you lock in for the night, they don't open the door anymore, no matter what the reason is, just about. So they need lieutenants, they need other people to come. They don't do it. So my dog's name was Albert, and he came in the cell with me. He's not allowed to sleep in the bed, so when the guards pass, they look. You know, there's a lot of things you can't do with the dog. So I got undressed and I got in bed, and Albert laid down on the side of the bed, little dog bed, and he got up in the middle of the night, and I heard all kinds of rustling around. I got up. I thought he took a piss because it was wet. I opened up the light, and Albert was sick. It wasn't piss. It was diarrhea. And I mean, this dog was, when he bent over to go, it hit the wall. Didn't even go down on the floor. And I had nothing but underwear on. So now I have nothing in the cell. I'm banging on the door. I want the guard to come and open the door. They won't open the door. And I have a little shovel where if I swept, I would shovel to clean my cell. So I'm shoveling up this stuff, and every time I'm like a little bit into it, I'm throwing up. I'm gagging, I'm puking all over the place, and the dog would bend over and do it again. And the dog was shaking. It thought it was doing something wrong. It really wasn't the dog's fault. I couldn't get mad. It was sick. I don't know what did it. But I had a night with this dog that was incredible. I don't like shit to begin with. Having it all over the place, on my bed, on my sheets, all over my clothes. When I finally got a little bit done, boom, he exploded again. Did it again, and when I finally got some of it, I even took the blanket sheets, rubbed everything together, threw it on the side. I was going to kick it out of the cell when they opened the door. I stood in the toilet bowl. Got completely nude and put my feet in the toilet bowl and stood there, would flush the water and take the water from the toilet bowl and throw it on me in between throwing up every once in a while. It's another thing I hate, is throwing up. I very rarely ever did that. I don't do that often. But it was one of the worst nights of my life. The guard came and he watched and stood there a while. He says, "I can't do nothing, Sammy. What do you want me to do?" I says, "What I want you to do, bro." I don't even want to say what I said, but he left. They came back in the morning. "What's the matter?" When they took the dog out, it was the salt on his paws. So when he came in, he was licking that salt and probably drinking it all down, and he got sick. Now, not all the dogs got sick from it, but my type of dog and some of the other ones got sick. It seems like those Labrador retrievers, because we had about 12 dogs in the program, and the Labradors could eat anything, and they don't get sick. They're like garbage pails. And I'll tell you a little further. Now, we're going around, and this woman would come in and come around. She was a trainer. Guards would follow them, and I was living on the second tier. So she came up and she came in, and they only knew us by our first name. So she, hey Sammy, how you doing? Now I was training the dog that I would make believe I fell on the floor, and I would tell him, Albert, go get help. And he would run to my partner 20, 30 feet away, wiggle in front of him. If he didn't follow him, he would grab his pants and pull him and look at me. So he's telling the guy to come and help me. That's how we're training them. So I says, coming along pretty good. Albert's pretty good. So she says, all right, call him out. He was in the cell. So Albert, come on out. Came out, sit down. Boom, he sat right next to me. She's very good, Sammy, very good. Let him go get help. So there was guys on the other end. So I got on my knees. I may believe I fell down. Albert, go get help. Boom. Passed the guys right up. Went down the stairs. Hit the main floor. Through the hall. And Albert was gone. So I looked at the woman. She said, what happened? Where's he going? I said, no, he's got friends on the other side. I said, he's probably going to them for help. He'll be back. So I got all fucked up. So I did my dog training thing. When it came time that the dog graduated, then they take him to professional trainers. They were with us about 6 or 7 months. So, I mean, we worked with them pretty long. And, I mean, these dogs were unbelievable, how some of them were trained. And the dog graduated, Albert, and it came time for more dogs. I said, no, I'll never go through that again. I don't want another dog in the cell unless you give me the keys to the cell, or if I bang on the doors, you open the doors. So that never happened. So talking about prison, I mean, we had another thing. Somebody came over and they had this counselor and they had a class. They were going to show you videos and you get some extra credits. Maybe you can knock off a month off your sentence. And Sammy, come on, go in the class with us. So I said, all right. And I went into class and we were all sitting around. There's about 15 of us sitting around, and the counselor takes a tape and he puts it in the television. And there's a counselor in the movie, and he tells some black guy to tell his story about his crimes. So the guy gets up and he says, I killed my aunt. So the counselor said, why did you kill your aunt? And he said, when I was real young, she used to make me suck her titties. And when I grew up, I remembered that, and I killed her. And he shuts the video. Does anybody have any kind of similar type of stories or stories that they want to tell? Jerk off over here. Boom, me, I got a story. All right, Sammy, what kind of story do you have? I said, well, it's a similar story. I said, I killed my aunt too. You killed your aunt? Yeah. Why did you kill your aunt? I said, because when I wanted to suck her titties, she wouldn't let me. So later on, when I got older, I killed her. I said, and that was it. The whole fucking class busted out laughing. The counselor put his hand on his head. All right, Sammy, all right, sit down. So those are some of my little prison stories. There's probably 1,000 of them that stupid things that I did in prison, and sometimes in trouble, and sometimes just things. Let me tell you one more thing. When I get out, I mean, I have a background in the history. You guys know it. It's a little bit of dangerous history. So I had to go to a counselor, not a counselor, it was not a psychiatrist, a psychologist. So they do an interview with you when you're going out and going home to the street, and they're going to write a report. It was a black woman. So I sat down in her office, and she said, you're going to get out in another week or two. What do you think you're going to do with your life? I says, I don't know. I'm not going to get in trouble. I don't know what I'm going to do. But my family made arrangements that I would go to an old age home. I was 72 at that time. She said, an old age home? Why? She said, you look like you're in really good shape. I said, yeah, that's the reason. So when I go in this old age home, all the old ladies will be saying, oh, look, that's Sammy the Bull. And they'll be saying, yeah, and he's in good shape. And I'm going to fuck every woman in the old age home. She looked at, she dropped the pen. She said, what? She said, I never heard. Do you want me to write this in your report? And I said, you could write it. You could do what you want. You could meet me when I get out. I don't care what you do. I says, I was told I got to come here. So anyway, she busted out laughing. She said, this is the best report, but I'm going to write it. But I'm going to make it a joke, LOL, at the end of it. So she says, I know you're teasing me. So that was another thing that I did. So that's the Albert one, and two of my, I wasn't allowed to suck my auntie's titties. So, and this is the one with psychologist. I don't know. All right, kiddos. So I wanted to put out a little video because a lot of you's been telling me about videos and stuff like that. And I want to apologize, really. I've been, we fell behind with the podcast, the videos. I had the COVID, I got sick. That was one thing. Now I'm doing these shorts. Listen, you guys, if you're not on SammyTheBull.com, go on SammyTheBull.com. It's $3 a week or $30 or $3 a month. I can't make a buck with these kids. They watch everything I say. All right, $3 a month and $30 a year. And these shorts, you're going to be blown away. You get a 20% discount. You're gonna love these shorts. And I'm actually acting in the short. And I took acting lessons for 2 hours. So I think I'm an actor now after 2 hours of acting lessons. So we'll see what happens, but I think you're going to love them. We really put a lot of time and effort in this. And we're going to do the bullpen on SammyTheBull.com. And a lot of things that you're not allowed to say. On SammyTheBull.com, it's going to be like a mafia news station. And I'm going to be a little more loose with my tongue and not worry about what I'm going to say. So you're going to hear things there that you're really not going to hear on YouTube or different channels where if I say too much, they'll cut my tongue off. And I need my tongue. For a couple of women told me that I need my tongue. All right. Adios, motherfuckers.